look at that. I didn't change the settings. Man, I should have known. I should have checked. Should have checked in that. Let me know how, my friends, does the sound. Let's go ahead and do that. Because it is another fun edition of Tuesday with Tots. We got to know, how's the mic working? You're going to let me know on that first off. Second off, let me know how your day is going today. Today is the Monday-est Tuesday that we've had in a long while. It's been an amazing day, so we're going to talk about that. And then also, we're going to talk about white toner printing. If you don't know, we now have one. And we're going to talk about why we felt the need to have one. The pluses to it, the minuses of it. You're going to be along for the journey of this. We're going to talk about everything that we did. So, hey, when you get in, let me know, what's the weather like in your area, how things going. It is sunny and mid-80s here. It is very, very nice. Hey, I will take this in September because we've only got a few more weeks left of summer. So enjoy it while we can. So get in here, check in, say hi, hello. Let me know, do you have a white toner? If you have a white toner, tell me about it. Which one do you have? If you don't have a white toner, tell me what you know about it. Or tell me what you want to know about it. And I'm going to do my best to answer all the questions for you about that. We ended up with the Creo 8432 is the one that we ended up with. So let's check in and see how everybody doing. Hey, Darren, how are things going for you? What's up, Chuck? Good evening to you. And yeah, we're busy. We're busy. And if you don't know what Chuck's talking about, we have our 5 keys of marketing that we're doing this week. Last night was going to be define your customer. Tonight's define your brand. I was going to try and get all of the stuff that we were going over tonight done for today. And I just couldn't. We had 3 hours of training today between sales training, between Creo training, and then we just kind of had a little chit chat that we have once a month or once a week with people. So that took out 3 hours of the day, no production there. Then we had, it was a 3-day weekend, and I tried not to work a whole lot of maybe set up artwork, did invoicing, but it became a print day. And so since 7 o'clock, since looking at when we started in the first button I clicked on here, it was about 5:45. So starting about 5:45 this morning, we've been going nonstop, and it is now 5 o'clock. Well, we've left twice. Once to take the kids to school and once to pick them up. So total about 45 minutes. Other than that, it's just been nonstop jamming it and rolling. So we're doing our best to get things out the door. Just remember, that's why we say 3 to 5 business days. Do our best to get it out faster. But hey, rush orders come in, and that goes from there. Then we had football call and be like, hey, we want to do more jerseys, so let's set that up. Then we had a baseball team or a softball team that said, hey, any chances we can get coaches' shirts done here pretty quick for a turnaround? So it was just a lot. We worked on the business and in the business today, which is always fun. So, and we've got, night 2 of our 5 keys of marketing, and that starts in less than 2 hours. That starts at 7 o'clock. So if you're interested in that, hey, I might as well, right? I might as well put that in there because you can still get in there. You can still sign up. You can get information from last night's thing and get all that information. So I'm going to put that link in here too. So that way, if you want to sign up, you can still sign up for it because it's oursuccessgroup.com/5 keys marketing. If I could spell, it would be great. So there it is, oursuccessgroup.com. We'll have that in there. Carol, hello, and sound is good. Thank you. Chuck sounds good. Jerry sounds good. Jumping in for a sec, Jerry. Go for it, Jerry. Something. Missy, hello. It is super effing hot out there. I did see that. You get like triple digits out there. Well, that's craziness. 78 and sunny there in Monterey. Can't beat that. All right, you have the iColor 550. What do you love or hate about it? Let's talk about that. Chuck says it's 88 and sunny. Michelle, she's got the Pro 920 WT. That's the big one, right? Because there's 3, right? Currently, right? There's 3. There's the Oki, there's the little Oki, and then there's the 8432 that I have, and then the next one up, 9541, and that's the one that can do the 13 by 19. It's blistering fast, 5 colors. We're going to talk about what I know the differences between the 2 of them, the why we went with one over the other, and we can go there. Yes, that starts at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, because it's 7 here. So yes, that starts there. Alan, hello to you as well. And I'm drinking Bang, man. It's been a day and a day and a day. And this is the Purple Haze. The Purple Haze is what I've been on, so that works out well. And then people are still sending me messages, and it's great. So we love that. All right. So coming up, what do we got this week? This week short week, right? Is anybody else in that short week, long week type thing, where even though it's a short week, it's a long week? We had yesterday off, but we still did do some stuff. That's why today is the Mondays of Tuesdays. And then we've got, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And so if there's stuff that people want, there's rush jobs that are coming in, things that need to go out. It's been ridiculous. So, be mindful of that. Short week, short shipping week, everything is pushed back. Even stuff that I typically order and it's 1 to 2 days is now 2 to 3 days. So I can already see that shipping is starting to become an issue. And we're not even close to the holidays yet. So start thinking about that when you order something from anywhere. If you have a set deadline that you need to have it by, and it's cutting it close to a normal turnaround, make sure that you're finding out, hey, what's up for rush fees? Can I get that done? Hey, what about rush shipping? If typical shipping, if somebody's turnaround time is 24, 48, 72, whatever the hours are, hey, can I get it faster? Or can I have it shipped faster? There's the things you need to look at, because we're going to start running into issues with shipping, because it is not being fun at all, and not being full. Neil, good evening to you, my friend. Evelyn, hey to you as well. Okay, so he said we got a busy night, so we're just going to get right into this. White toner printer, right? White toner printer. Why did we get a white toner printer? You may be asking yourself that, because we currently have, the wide format printing, so eco solvent printing, so we can do signs, banners, decals, bumper stickers, magnets, printed HTV, canvas. We can, those wide format eco solvent printers can print a lot of stuff. So we've got that. And then we have our wide format DTF printer. So, we started with the converted printers in 2020, and then we added another one, and we added another one, and we outgrew those and we went to a commercial one. So now we have the commercial DTF. So where does white toner fall in this? Well, Todd, what the hell do you need a white toner for? Well, I'll tell you, here's things that are on my list that we're still going to look at purchasing. Embroidery machine. Do I want one? Absolutely. Do I want to run production? Absolutely not. I have a fine embroiderer who she does amazing work. Why do I want to do it? I just want to have a better understanding of it. Plus, it makes for great content. One thing I've noticed over, the last couple of years is, believe it or not, I'm an influencer, right? People will tune in to hear what I have to say, the real world stuff on things. So if I have something and I can show it off and how to do it, then hey, more power to me, right? No, it's more power to us, the more informative we are. If I can figure something out, I can walk you through it. So to me, that's just more content. So that's the main reason for embroidery machine. Laser, I got that Chinese K40, the little blue guy. It's like the 24 by 18, whatever. That will get fired up this year. Why? Laser, pew pew, right? You need to get that going. We in fact talked about doing it. We are in the final stages of planning out the remodel of the garage. So we're looking at, I could run new electrical out there, so it's going to have its own panel. The heating and air going to be squared away, the insulation squared away. We're going to have to clear everything out, and then so you're going to see build videos on that, because that's going to be a project. So hey, you get to see a shop build out, converting a one car, what is it, 24, I don't even know, 12 by 40. I think so. I think it's a 12 by 40, converting that over to a shop and the process of that. So that'll be fun, but it'll allow us to become more efficient on DTF transfers, because we can get the big dryer, because the current dryers won't fit through doorways. So that'll allow us for that. It allows us to have a better workflow than we currently have. And as things are starting to spill over, we're running out of room. With the storefront opening, we're moving inventory there, so that takes up stuff. But we've still got 3 storage units I need to get through. So being able to condense all of that, make it happen. So that's going to be happening soon, is that conversion on there. But the other thing is, why white toner, right? So white toner, here is our main reasons to get it. White toner gets a bad rap, right? The stuff feels like plastic. It feels like paper. It cracks. It does this. It does that. It doesn't have washability. It doesn't have stretchability. It doesn't have that. Listen, that is any print method, right? Any print method can be heavy. Any print method can crack. Any print method can suck in the wash. It's all about the artwork. Anything that you have a big, solid piece, it's not going to breathe. It can stretch in that, but it's still going to feel heavy. It's still going to have that feel. It doesn't matter on that. So a lot of it is in your artwork. Is there ways to remove colors? Is there ways to add breathability to it? Can you rasterize it by putting those little holes in it? What can you do to make it to breathe better? So white toner gets a bad rap on that. Now for us, with our other print methods, do we really need the white toner for that? No. We have the DTF for that, but on our commercial setup, to do one, it's kind of a pain, right? I'm waiting until I'm running stuff, then add it into the mix there because it's not cost effective to run one transfer on DTF, especially ours. Now, when we had the converted printers, it was fine, but on a commercial printer, when we have either the 13-inch film or the 24-inch film, and we want to do one, you've got a 2 to 3 foot lead and a 2 to 3 foot tail. So what does that mean? That means for every foot that I have to print, no matter what, there's 5 foot that's going to go away. Now, if I'm doing one on the side, that's 10 feet. 10 feet of material. That's just whoop, from one print. So what does that mean? White toner can fill in that void. So white toner can fill in for your single image, your one-off shirts, things that I don't need to order transfers for. I'm going to pay more in shipping than I am for transfers. It's a one-off shirt. That's where I believe white toner really fit in the apparel side of things. And then there's the other things that you can do with it, namely foil. Now you can do foil with the white toner. You can do it with any laser toner, really, but you can make sure you have the right paper for it, because that's the thing when it comes to white toner. I've seen there's a lot of different papers out there, and what works for me may not work for you. What works for you may not work for me. There's environmental conditions, what's the humidity, what's the temperature. These are all factors in when you are making transfers, when you're trying to do stuff. Now, I love foil. I love how foil looks, but foil's a pain to weed, right? Because what do? You're putting down adhesive, you're weeding all of that, and then you're putting the foil down on top of it. Well, when you're using toner printing, there is none of that. Print on the paper, heat press, put foil, done. So there is a super beneficial reason to try it out. Now, if you have a standard black toner printer right now, laser toner, or a color one, you can try that. You can get some of the paper and you can try it just for that. You're not going to have the white. You don't need it because you're going to do the foil on it. In fact, we did a Tuesday with Todd list with it last fall, I believe, where we went through and said, hey, let's try this out. And we got it to work somewhat. And some of the other ones we didn't. And it just comes down to testing. It's coming to figure out your settings and how it works. And that's the key with any process. I don't care if it's white toner, DTF, embroidery, HTV, screen printing. What am I missing out here? There's testing. There's testing involved in it. You have to know how stuff works for you. All your manufacturers are going to do is give you a general idea on how something works, how something should press. Hey, this is the time, this is the temp, this is the pressure. Those are good starting points for it. Not every press is the same. Not everybody's environment is the same. So you have to do some testing for it. You just can't do it once and say it's done. The other thing is, don't do a whole thing all at once, right? When I'm just testing out something new, I wanted to see, we got a cheap old mug press. And I'm like, what's the cheapest one I can find on Amazon? Because I want to do it because mine's in storage. It's in one of the 3 units. I think I know where it is. And I think it's in the back of the big one. And I really didn't feel like going, searching, climbing through stuff to look for it. So I said, I'm just going to order the cheapest one off Amazon. Well, what does the cheapest one off Amazon do? Not very well. Why? Because it can only fit certain things. It can't press right. It had 3 temp settings and 2 time settings. It just didn't. But if I can make it work with that, then I know I can make it work with anything, which is always a plus. So what I learned is, the cone sleeve is definitely a must on some of your strings. Now, when I tried this is printed decal, and I've had this on here for a while now, but you can see it's not holding up the greatest of washes. It's fading because of hand wash only on it. But I wanted to see, hey, what can we do, with the white toner? So it was the first one I tried. Right there. First one I tried. The pressure could not get on there because if you look at that is not a straight, right? That is not straight. You can see it curves in. So it couldn't do it. So I had to find a flat spot for it. There. We found a flat spot and it worked great. We scratched it, we washed it, we scrubbed it, we did everything we could, and it stayed magnificent. Now, the mug, I believe I have in the dishwasher because I thought I had it down here, but we did a glass mug, same thing, scrubbed everything. There's a little degradation on it, but I scrubbed the hell out of it. You're not going to do that. You're going to hand wash it. The other thing about testing is, so on this tumbler, when it heated up, I don't know if you can see that, you can tell where it softened the coating. So it left the paper indentation in it. It left the marks of the heat press in it. So this is going to be one of those things testing on the product. hey, how much pressure is too much? How much heat is that? So these are things you're going to have to do. When it comes to transfers, we can say, hey, here's what we did. And before we start selling these, like here, we will do a mug video on how we did it and things to look for, things to go with, things that might work, that you might run into. Because not everyone's going to be the same. And somebody's going to say, this doesn't work or it's there. Hey, you're going to have to test stuff, folks. And that's the big key to any of this. Test. Because it's just not it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work for you. Let's check in and see what we got here. See you after a while. See you, Jerry. Fired up already. I did, Khaki. Look, I did. But I had Creo training today because I didn't understand the rip. The way we're going to talk about the different things of why we went with it. Evelyn, what? No more storefront? No, we haven't had a storefront since COVID. Since COVID shut us down in 2020, we had the mall storefront going into 2020. The end of 2019. I wasn't 100% sure if we still wanted the storefront. Most all of our business was online nationwide. We were doing a lot of B2B stuff. And so we were like, man, do we really need the storefront? Do we not? Because it became more of a nuisance, because it was to the point where I was either going to have to hire people to get in there and work, because I was getting bothered by customers coming in. Not saying that's a bad thing, but a lot of times you get ones that come in, and if you're a one-person shop or two-person shop, it takes away production. So my busiest time, the most time that I could do something was before the mall opened and then after hours. So it was great when Corey was there to help out, but our lease expired in February of 2020, and we really debated on, no, it didn't. It was January of 2020. And I said, hey, look, I don't know if I really want to be here, and I explained to them all, here's what's going on. They're like, let's work out a deal, because we had 80 we went from the 3,500 to 8,500 square feet. And I didn't need the 8,500 square feet, but they said, hey, what do you think about going back to your old place at a discounted rate? We're like, yeah, let's really talk about it. So they said, well, just close the doors, so that way we're there, and we're gonna work this out. So February 2020, we shut the gates, and we were able to work, and I love that. If I could just have them all and not have the storefront, I would love that, because it was this place for it. Now, fast forward, we are in Mexico getting married. We still did not have a lease, and then it was like the 28th of February. So they sent us a lease and said, okay, what do you think of this? And we said, yep. So we signed it. We're in Mexico. Then when we get back, I sent the info to the kids. The kids started moving stuff, for us. We get back. We had the store open within a week, and then 7 days later, the governor shut the state down. So we didn't open. We didn't open the rest of 2020, and I really learned at that time I did not need the storefront anymore. So it saved us a lot. We really got lean on it. We were really able to make it through that rough patch. Being able to pivot. That was the 2020 word. We were able to pivot, but we had a lot of B2B customers that we were able to help out and run things with, and it worked out great. Now we're at the point where we get asked for stuff. We sell glitter online, we sell vinyl online, we sell this other stuff online. And one of our friends, who's also in the business, said that they get asked for it, but they didn't want to have to deal with that, bringing stuff in inventory, things like that. And we said, well, we already have it online. What do you think about a partnership? And so that's what Corey's doing now. Is she's partnering up with a local person. We're going to have a storefront, somewhat of a storefront. We're going to have that in there and then put the stuff in there. So it'll be interesting to see how all that plays out. But man, it was just it's one of those things. You want to do something, you want to do it well. We've been talking about it now for 3 or 4 months, and now the kids are back in school. We can focus on that. But man, it's getting crazy. Curtis on the road. Hello to you. Oh, fire up the laser. Yes, it will be. It will be fired up. It'll be fired up this year. I promise it'll be fired up this year. You're my favorite product tester. I love it. So anybody else wants to send me stuff to test out, products to ruin, whatever, I'm down for that. Okay, so let's get into white toners. Why did we go with the Creo 8432? Okay, so one, the service. We went with it from the Magic Touch USA. We've, been stocking them for a while, trade show wise, at least the last 3 years. And my thoughts are, I don't need it for apparel, but what I want it for is that hard substrates. Hard substrates is where I think white toner really can hammer it home for people. There's so much that you can do with it. And a lot of people don't realize it. They just shirts, 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 shirts. That's what I want. And then they're upset with it. And then they don't realize the things that it can do. So for us, where's our big hit's going to be? It's going to be transfers because we will offer them for sale 100%. So we'll have transfers for the hard stuff. We're not going to do any apparel transfers. There's no reason for us to do it. We're going to do some in-house, but for us, the cost of a transfer, sort of the DTF, that's what we have it for. So we won't have any apparel transfers, but we will have the CPM, which is ceramics, plastics, metals. We will have for that. We'll probably add the raw wood and things on it, but the CST, the stuff that we use that are going to be for tumblers, going to be for glass mugs, that stuff will be here on the website here in the next week or two. We want to make sure we have the process down so we can tell others here's what we did. We want to make sure that we have our backing's good, everything's good with it, the coloring's fine with it. We want to make sure we have all that before it's ready to go. So over the course of the next month or so, that's probably what Tuesday with Todd is going to be focused on is the white toner side of it, because hey, when we release a new product, we're going to have videos. We're going to show you us doing a mug, doing a tumbler. The other part of it is on the water slides. We've got asked a lot on that, and we've done water slides in the past, but we weren't able to do white. So when somebody wanted their information on white so they could put it on the bottom of tumblers, and that's something we weren't able to do for them. So that's where the white toner came in. We saw a need for stuff that we were already doing in Corey's tumbler business. She was already ordering things that we couldn't do. So the white toner part of it for water slides, the temporary tattoos, things like that she was already ordering for. So we can bring this in house and we can offer it as another service. So when we were going back and forth, what I said, we'll have the laser, the embroidery machine, there's something maybe to add on there. We're also looking at a few different roll printers because we get asked about doing things on a roll. And so that's rolls and mini sheets and things like that. There's a couple printers that we're looking at too to be able to add to it because, we want to be able to add everything that we can within reason. We want to make sure that we have a need for it. And a lot of times the need for it is our own need. For us, as many transfers and things that we're doing, having a roll printer and being able to print our thank you labels out on rolls, being able to print out our information tags on rolls, being able to do that can really make it easier than the cutting sheets down. So that's where we'll probably be the next thing that we're looking at there. And future things that there, embroidery machine, yes, wide format sublimation, minimum 44 inches. We get asked for transfers. It's something that we've thought about doing for a while. And so if we can add that to the mix, then that's where we're going. But that's all comes part of that build out. Having that build out and having more room to have that printer in there, to have the other printers, to have everything in there, we got to make sure that we have the room for it. So these are future things that come in. But if it's stuff that can help our business grow, then that's going to be, a real determinant factor if we bring it in house. Is it going to help us grow? Is it going to make us more efficient? What is the ROI on it? And that's something you need to do when you're looking at purchasing new equipment. Is how much am I spending on this and what is it going to bring back to me? How soon can I get that return back? Now, a DTF printer, $20,000 to $25,000 on it. What's our ROI on that? How long does it take it? Based off what our numbers were, it was going to be 3 to 6 months, depending on, how much we screwed up in the beginning, how often, we were printing, what things came from it, where we're at with it. 3 to 6 months seemed, about standard of where we are from there. Depending on how much you sell, we could hit it as low as 3. It could take as long as a year. But when we were running the numbers, here's what it costs us to operate the machine. Here's what it costs us for payment. Here's what the total machine costs us per foot. And here's what we can sell at. So how many feet and how many rolls do we got to get our money back on it? Because that's the thing is, every week we're ordering $500 to $1,000 in supplies easily for DTF. Some weeks it's as much as $2,000 in supplies. So just as soon as that comes in, it goes back out because you're buying for the next one. You're buying to make sure that you have that in there. And then until you figure out your levels, okay, if my normal shipping is 1 to 2 days, here's how far I can go. Here's what I need in stock. And so it takes a minute just to try and get a feel of that. How much am I going to have in this? Because anytime you have money tied up in inventory, that's what it is. It's money tied up. You can't do anything with it. It's just sitting there. So instead of spending $1,000, can I spend $500 and get by for half of that? Can I put that $500 towards something else? So when you start looking at your business as a whole, is where is my money at? Where can I get more in? Where can I not spend as much out? That's how we do it. We look at it. What's the ROI on this? What are we getting back? Embroidery machine, that would be years. Why? Because I don't plan on using it to generate revenue. I plan on using it to generate content, maybe some one-off stuff here and there for us, some personal projects. But as far as running, actual jobs on it, I don't see that happening. Why? Because I have an embroiderer. I have somebody that is damn good at what they do. So why do I need to do that? No, 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 no. Let them do it, and I will be happy. So playing. So that's where it is. Now coming to the label printer. Okay, we're going to spend $4,000 on a label printer. What's the ROI on that? Well, a lot of it, like I said, those time savings on us. If that can save me, let's just say 5 minutes a day, right? 5 minutes a day, and that's going to be 22 days. I gotta do the math to make this easy for me, because I want to say, if that's 5 times, so let's say it saves a half hour a week, right? So 6 minutes a day, because that way that's easy math for me to do. So if it saves me 6 minutes a day by not having to peel things off of a sheet and finding that sheet and I can have all the labels on a roll, and if it can save me 6 minutes a day, and times 5 days, that's 30 minutes a week, or 2 hours a month, right? So 2 hours a month. Our labor rate, this is, what it costs us to be in business, is $125 an hour. So at 2 hours, that's $250. So $250 is what that could save us each month. Well, 250 times 12, that's $1,500 a month, or $1,500 a year. So 3 years just on time savings, pretty much pays for the machine, right? 15, 3,000, 4,500. So 3 years it would be paid off just in the time savings. Now add in the other things that we can do by producing labels, by doing short run sticker runs, things like that. Then it quickly pays itself off sooner. So anytime you're looking at purchasing a piece of equipment, figure out, hey, is it cheaper for me to outsource this stuff? Is it cheaper for me to test it out? I know so many people, especially on the DTF side of things, that just went out and bought the equipment, bought a converted printer, and absolutely hate it because of the amount of time, energy that it's taken them to do it. And they haven't realized, oh my God, this is horrible because I can't do anything else. So really take a look at it. Transfers are cheap enough now. Just go ahead and order transfers to the job, build in with a shipping cost, have your lead time in there, figure out what rush fees are, any of that. And then you don't have to worry about doing all that. Test it out. If you're getting to the point where, hey, I'm needing 50 to 100 a day, well, hey, now let's start looking at getting, a machine in so you can do that. But if you're not doing that kind of volume, it just doesn't make sense to bring it in, not only between, what it actually takes to do it, but then the cost wise of it. You're going to convert a printer, you're going to spend $3,000 to do that. How many transfers is it going to take to get that back? So, just really do your numbers. I'm not trying to tell anybody, away from it, but I want you to be aware of the real cost of doing business. It's costly. Your time is valuable. And when you're doing multiple things and your time gets pulled away from it, it's really tough. And so you want to make sure that you're making the right investments for you and your business at the right time for it. So yes, that's what it is. Yeah. Glenn, same here. Yep. For the storefront. Yeah. It was just in there. Sandra, hello to you. What are water slides? Okay, Jerry, the best way that I can describe water slides to somebody like you who will remember making model cars when we were a kid, right? Model cars, and they had the decals on them, and you use water, you put it on there, and it slid off the water, and it put it on the car. That's a water slide, my friend. So those are water slides. They're activated with water. They slide there. It'll film that it's printed on, super thin. You're able to put it on that. And us model cars is where my first experience with water slides. Where we see it is in tumblers. That's where we get a lot of people that have asked for it, so they could put their labels on the bottom of stuff without it being stickers. So that was one of the things we were with us. We're like, okay, yeah, we can totally do that, and we can be efficient with it. See, you do remember. White toner paper is expensive. It absolutely can be. That's the thing, is when white toner printing paper can be expensive, especially in stuff where it's a part A and a part B, because you have two sheets in there. You got to marry it. If you get it wrong, then you just wasted it. It can be as much as $5 a sheet. But with anything, when you know what it costs you to produce it and you use those numbers to price your products, you're not losing any money. Why? Because this is what it cost me to make a shirt. And we'll go through this whole process of what it actually costs us to make a white toner shirt, what it costs us to make a white toner decal, and what I'm going to do is just, hey, Just if we were to sell the transfers, if we were to buy the transfers, here's what it is. So we know how to price stuff for it. We're going to go through that so that way we can show you, hey, how can you make money with this? Now, in my head, where I see us making money with this at is in our retail business. We still do a lot of stuff for team sports, corporate events, things like that. So, in my head, what I can do is I can buy a bunch of black tumblers, right? Black tumblers. Everybody, everybody doesn't have a problem with black tumblers, and I can print out the transfers and then able to use that. So I may have a case of mugs, say 72 mugs here or 72 tumblers, but I can use them for all my different clients because I offer them black. I have one, I just got to print out the transfers and go on it. So that's what you could do as well. You have the transfer, put it on here. And will we try it? The next thing try it on is this one won't fit in there, so I didn't get it. But, how does it look on stainless steel? We're going to try all those out, and then we're going to show you, here's how you can make money to it. Because this thing, this is not going anywhere. You can go back to our group. You can watch where we did the wash test on it, so that way you could see how it is. I scrubbed the hell out of it. It's not going anywhere. So, what are those mugs going for? That's where we're going to do our market research. What is a full color mug for? Especially on a short run. That's the other thing on this. So if I'm going to show a sample to somebody, yep, here, let me get this. Let me take my top 5 businesses. I'm going to run a sheet of transfers. I'm going to make this for them, see, draw up any interest. Hey, thanks for doing business with us. Here's your stuff in the logo. Hey, can I get, 20 more of these? So think outside the box and how you can use that. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to walk you through that. So for us, being able to offer them to our existing clients, things that we were already wanting to do, that's where we said, yeah, this totally makes sense to do. On the temporary tattoos can be used, sports. You can do anything with those. When you think fun runs, you can have it for there. Birthday, we talked to somebody and they had the bachelorette parties. So bachelorette party and it had scan code. Yep, scan and then you can buy them a drink. So there's so many different things that you can use that for. Between the sport nights, the super fan nights, anything that you can add it on to, and it's a good moneymaker. And so when we look at that, we're going to price our product competitively so that way you can still buy it and make money off of it, right? Because that's the key. It doesn't make sense for me to offer you something retail that you can't make anything off of. So we'll price our products competitively so that way you're able to make money off of it. The more money you make, the more you'll buy. It works out pretty well. So it's one of those things where there's so much the upside to it, outlive the downside, because product can be expensive, toner can be expensive. When you're looking at $250 for a toner cartridge to $300, $350, but when you're getting 3,000 prints out of it, it's pennies. It's no different than ink for the DTF. We're $90 a liter, depending on how much we're going through. It can get expensive. When you go by what it actually costs you to print per square inch, though, it's not. It just seems like it because it's a big investment up front, which is why if you're financing stuff, if you go out and get a DTF printer, you're going to spend $25,000. Hey, throw some more material in there. Get, 5-10 rolls of film. Get 5 liters backup. So that way, you just didn't spend everything you had on it. You got in your first set and you burn through that. Now, I've got to drop $1,000 on material so I can print for these people. So make sure you think about that, especially on the financing side. You're already financing. What's another couple thousand, right? Same thing with when you're getting white toner. Now, for us, we got the CPM 6.2 paper. We got the T1 paper. We got the tattoo paper. We got the foam pad, the T-seal. We got everything in there. So you can get, go through it. Now, one of the other things that I did not get was the Forever Laser or Forever Dark. I'm going to order that. I was going to order that today, but today just got it out of me because one of the things that we saw that we want to do was Mylar balloons. We do a package deal with people, and we'll do this one every, let's just say 4th of July. No, it's Valentine's Day. Well, we'll do the pillow and the mug. And if we can do a personalized balloon with it, come on now. It's just upsell. If we can offer personalized balloons, we're all about that life. And so if there's something that you're able to do and we can give you a transfer and you're able to do it, now we're talking, right? There's always money to be made on so many different things. On the hard side of things, between the ornaments, between the tumblers, between the mugs, between glass products, between wood products, there is so many opportunities to be able to do white toner on hard goods. It's mind-blowing. And we're going to show you a lot of those over this process because, hey, we're going to go through it and see what we can do with it. with all your equipment, have you with all your equipment have you phased out? What have I phased out of, Kevin? Okay, so here's what we got. Uh, we had a Spangle machine, right? Spangle machine did great, but a Spangle machine was like a single head embroidery machine. You could only do so much with it. It was only so fast, and so when we're trying to pump out transfers, it would have not been beneficial. I would have needed three machines to keep up with it because the amount of attention that it needed while you were watching the speeds, everything with it. And when we were in the mall, it was tough to do because I would be with somebody and I could hear that something was wrong and there wasn't anything I do because I was sitting there with the customer. And so when you go through on time, it just wasn't cost effective to us. So when we looked at it, we're like, okay, is this really cost effective what we need? Nah, I don't know. So we sold it back last fall because we knew we were buying the DTF printer. So we traded one out for the other. The other thing that we have gotten, we didn't get rid of it, it's still here, is sand carving. I was fed that this amazing product, at a trade show. I bought equipment for it, tried selling me, the blast cap. I'm like, no, I've got a compressor. I can go to Harbor Freight and get that to make sure I actually like doing it before dropping, 5,000-6,000. I was much happier dropping, I think it was like $1,500 total on our setup, with the exposure unit and everything like that, than dropping, like 8,000 in it. So brought that. I love it. Love the process for it. God, the detail on it is fantastic, but it's a process. It is time consuming. It is dirty to try and do it while we were doing the rest of our stuff. I just couldn't. I couldn't keep up with it, and it became one of those things that I started to dread. Now, if that was all I was doing, love it, but now it's just really a pet project. And for us, we didn't really have a whole lot of it. So the only real thing that we didn't that we don't use on a regular basis, we will have the blast cabinet. I think just about every guy has a blast cabinet they use, a couple times a year. So that's the same with us. Was the exposure unit. That was about the only real thing that we didn't get back out of it. But it's still there if we want to do it. We loved it. I really had a ball making some really cool stuff with it. But it was just time consuming and dirty. So that was the two things that we cut from it was the sand carving and the Spangle machine. But for the rest of it, we're right there. Edward, no problem. You didn't move anything. My calculations tell me to charge $7 per print plus garment. And see, Ramona's got it right there. Her calculations tell her what she needs to charge for something. That goes for anything. No matter what somebody else charges, it doesn't matter. You have to know what your numbers are and works for you and what's to charge. So for us, when we can look and see, hey, this is what we can sell a print at, this is what you'd have to buy it at, this is where you'd have to sell it at to make money off of, you have to decide, is it worth it for you? That's where we don't know if shirt transfers are really where it's at for us to sell as transfers, because it is not going to be cost effective. That's what we have the DTF for. But selling a sheet of these, 2-inch, 3-inch ones, okay. Selling a sheet of those for temporary tattoos, okay. That's where we find it's going to be beneficial for us at it. Do you have a rough idea on how much it would be for 100 right toner labels on the bottom of tumblers? I don't right now, Sandra, because we're still going through it. We went through today's training to get a better understanding of the RIP software. We have some one-on-one training set up to have an understanding of the pricing and all that. But right off the top of my head, I don't. If you request a quote, if you go to our website, go get a quote, put the information in there. I will do my best tomorrow to get with Magic Touch and with Creo to help me understand where pricing would be, so that way I can get you pricing on that. Because that's the thing, is I just don't know, so I can't give you an answer for that. No problem, Cheryl, no problem. What exposure unit did you get? It was the little blue and gray one, right? That's on the cylinder. Is that right? It's about yay big. Yeah, folds up. It's a blue and gray, black and gray. We got it from what is that? Racist. Yeah, racist. Yeah, that was a great name for a company. We got it from there. Good company, great service. It just wasn't our cup of tea. And that was. I will not knock the product. I will not knock anything with it. If that is your business, you will crush it at it. Adding it on, that's really tough because of the amount of time that it took for us. Okay, Ramona, let's get into it. So what did we get it? So we got the 8432, right? We got the 8432. The other reason, was that we went with it with Magic Touch. Why? Like I said, I've been stalking them for years at the trade shows. I've always been interested in the hard side of things, not the soft side of things. And I said, hey, this could be something beneficial, and so we got to talking, and and finally things worked out. Now the Creo 8432, when you get it, first off, it comes on a pallet, so they're going to try and deliver it. Depending on how yours are. Ours was tried to be FedEx. They needed the lift gate. They were going to bring it on a semi, and that just wasn't having it. So when you order it up and they call you to set up delivery, ask them if you can just go pick it up. Because especially on the 8432, it's just a printer, right? It's just sitting on a pallet. You can go there, you can pull it off the pallet, you can throw it in the back of the truck, the van, whatever, and bring it home, and you're able to do it that way instead of having to worry about a lift gate and trying to set all that up. So we went with that. Opening up the Creo, it comes with your toner, but one of the cool things that I thought was it comes with a tablet. So it comes with its own tablet here, and when you go into it, it's already set up. So it has your getting started. There it is. You're getting started. Your Creo Care, your Creo, what was that? The Creo Smart. What's that button do? Oh, the paper selection. So it comes with a bunch of different the Creo Academy, so you can walk through and learn stuff. But it comes with this preloaded. So it walks you through step by step, setting up your printer, setting up your software, scan this to go to here. And it's a full-fledged tablet. If you have issues, you can get in here, you can log in, get all of it. So I thought that was a really sweet idea, was to have it have its own tablet, all the information on it about your printer, about the software, everything with it. As far as what RIP software came with it, it's the CADLink Factory. What is the Factory 10? Is that what it is? Let me click the button just to make sure that I have it correct, because it was the CADLink, Digital Factory 10. Yes, that's what it is. So that's what it came with. I had training on that today, and see, I have a pretty good understanding of RIPs just with the EcoSolvent printer and the DTF. But some of it, when you're used to where something is, like this, I'm like, okay, how do I do this? How do I turn this on? Where's this at? And so when you sign up for it, when you purchase from Magitex, when you get the Creo, they're going to want you to set up for training. So today we had training, which is phenomenal. Hey, do everything online. They'll walk you through it step by step. Here's a basic overview of everything to get you going, and then we can set up later times for other stuff to be more specific. So it was a little over an hour, maybe an hour and a half, to go through what different buttons did, how you can change stuff, what can go into it. I learned a lot. It was a very informative seminar for it, workshop. There was two of us there, and one ended up dipping. So then it became a one-on-one, and that's when it was really cool to be able to get in there and go with it. And so I really felt comfortable with it. The other thing is, this wasn't just like, hey, we're just gonna get one. No, we've been thinking about it for a while. Talk to other people. What else could do? And the biggest thing that I always saw was downfall was shirts, garments. This is the thing. Well, it's not though, right? It's your artwork. It's how you're setting things up. We know going into it, it's not going to be the greatest for apparel, but that's what everybody wants it for. But they forget about the other things that it can do. If you're already doing sports for teams, team sports, things like that, working for schools, it's a no-brainer for White Toner to be able to throw the school's logo on something like that, and then also have temporary tattoos. It's just added money makers. So it's a very cost-effective way to add more products and upsell them to create more revenue. It's a great thing for it. Tanya, hello. Billy's amazing. Awesome. Good to hear. And yeah, where did it go? Where did it go? And Joseph's been a phenomenal resource. He's answered all of my questions all hours of the weekend here. I said, here's the thing. He's just let me know if you need anything. And see, so there's a couple of questions that I had. And yep, he got right back to me on it. Holiday weekend, and it worked out well. I have not ran into anything I haven't been able to figure out yet between Creo support here, going through the manuals and looking at the Facebook groups. And that's the thing. Try your best to get things figured out before you go into it. If you just start, you want to try and get a good understanding of how your equipment works. You got to make sure humidity, 50, 60% humidity on it. In fact, today, I think they said, the more than 60 or higher, which we're in the 55 to 65 here with the DTF printer. So everything should be good with that. But you got to realize that there's things that, are going to go wrong, going to happen. And it's not the equipment's fault. It's not your fault. It could be an environmental fault, but you just have to realize that there's a lot that goes into it. Yeah, that preloaded tablet, that's legit to have everything right there. I killed the battery on it the first night, because I'm like, ooh, I can just watch everything right here. Because once you're registered and you can set everything up, it's so easy to be right there with it. Perfect thing for you. What will be the best format to send information to print for me? PNG with a transparent background. Goes for DTF. Same for this too. PNG, transparent background, or vector artwork. Design in RGB. That's what we have found to work best so far for DTF and for white toner. That's what I've seen. So I can't say one way or the other, but RGB seems to be gives us the truest blacks, things like that with it. Yeah, awardplex. Like there's a ton of stuff that you're able to do with a white toner that people just they think shirts, and then they try it on shirt and they're like, this thing is a piece of crap. I just want to give it away. I mean, you can go look in some of these white toner groups, and they're this printer that's an $8,000 printer, they're selling for 2,000, right? It's got half its toner left in it. It's just ridiculous because they're like, it just doesn't do what I need it to do. And most of those are going to be, I've seen it be like eye colors, and I don't know if eye color it doesn't have the greatest support on the back end, or what it is, but that's where I've seen more and more issues with it. On us on the Oki and the Creo, because it's the Creo powered by Oki technology. That's where I wanted to see was the support. Talk to others, and a lot of it came to, hey, the Magic Touch offers it, and here's a great thing. Now, Magic Touch does offer. I think there's 3 printers that they offer, but we only looked at the 2 because they have the Oki, what is it, the 711 WT, but we had the 8432 or the 9541. Main differences between them. Price is a huge thing. You got 8,000 for the 8432 WT, and then about 14,000 for the 9541 WT. Big difference between the two is your 8432 is going to have your CMY and white. So CMY and white. You can swap out a black cartridge, but if you want, when it's producing black, it's going to do a mixture of these 3 of your CMY to make your black. So it's not going to give you the truest black because there's not black in there, but it's going to give you a mixed black, and then it has the white. Now the 9541 has CMYK and white. So it's the only 5 color printer there is. The difference in size, I think 8.5 by 14 on the 8432, and then you can go 13 by 19 on the 9541. So a considerable bigger area. Now, on the smaller one, that doesn't mean you're limited to the smaller things. They do have parts of the software where you can split images and put things together like that. So there are workarounds on that. Like I said, for our main goal, using them in hard goods, using temporary tattoos, water slides, we didn't need the big 13 by 19. The other thing is speed. Is that 9541 is about twice as fast, right? It's about twice as fast. So you're able to print a lot more. Now, if the transfer business starts booming, and we're printing out hundreds a day, then it's going to be, hey, let's look at this. Do we need to upgrade to this? And then what's the ROI on that? So that way we can get back to it. It always comes back to what the numbers tell us to do. The numbers tell us we should buy another machine, buy another machine. If the numbers tell us to wait, then we're going to wait. But those are the what I feel the big differences between them. And as we start looking at more different pieces of what we can do, what we can't do, trying out different things. And this is where I need your guys' help. What are some things that you've had issues with printing on a white toner? What are some things that you'd like to see printed on a white toner? What are some other ways that we think we can help make money together, right? Sublimation is an amazing product that you can do a ton with, right? Because you can do mugs with it. You can do awards with it. You can do glass with it. You can do a lot with it. But white toner, you can do on colored things. So I can't do that. I can't sublimate on this, right? I can't. Why? Because it's dark. Sublimation doesn't produce white. So that's where there's different ways. There is no end all be all singular process that trumps all. There isn't. And the sooner that people understand that, and the better off they're going to be. Sublimation isn't for everything because why? Polyester and light garments. Just doesn't work that way, right? People want dark, they want cotton, so you want blends, and you want vibrant colors with it. So it might not be the best for that. So you got to know what the best product process is. And if you don't do it in house, just get transfers. Anymore, everything can be outsourced. You can get sublimation transfers if you want to try sublimation. You can DTF transfers if you want to try that. You can get white toner if you want to try that. You can get HTV transfers. We've done HTV transfers. We got a couple different customers that a couple times throughout the year they'll order their reflective from us. Why? Because they don't want to deal it. So we just go ahead and yep, here's their cost on it. It's between 11 and 15 cents a square inch. They're good with it. Boom. And yep, here's the pricing on it. They charge their customer. I don't know what they charge their customer, but they continuously do it and it works out well. So, you don't need to have every piece of equipment. What you do need to have is a good network of people that you can work with, because then you can offer everything and you don't have to bring anything in house, right? It makes it so much easier. There's people across the country that we print their shirts for. Hey, I need shirts for this team. Can you do it? Yep. Hey, I need shirts for this run reader. Can you do it? Yep. Hey, I need shirts for this corporation. Can you do it? Yep. And they know that we don't do everything in house. That some of the stuff goes to our embroider, some of it goes to our screen printer. Some of it goes. They're fine with it. Here's our pricing on it. We make a little. They do an upsell from it, an upcharge for it, and everybody's happy. So we really have. It's really the best way to run your business. Is the more people you can get involved in your business, the better it is. Let's see. What are the questions here? Edward looked at the Magic Touch digital heat effects, UV printer, and sublimation, but only the Epson sublimation printer was in my budget to start. And that's perfectly fine. You can just get that sublimation printer and make a boatload of money just subbing items. The big thing is just doing it and not doing 30 of the same one to send a customer and let them decide. Edward, you do it once and send it to them, and then make money and then rinse and repeat. That's what you got to do. There's so many things that you can do with the sublimation printer, because sublimation is an amazing process, right? It's one of the coolest ones that are out there. It does have its limitations, but you can do a lot with it. And you got a heat press. You can order transfers for the other stuff. You can order the white toner transfers, the HTV transfers, the printed HTV. Excuse me. The DTF. You can do all of it. All right, Carol. Did I answer you on the size limitations? I think it's 8.5 by 14. I think is what it is on 8432 and 13 by 19 on the 9541. So I think that's there. Do you have to print every day like you have to do a sublimation printer sometimes? Nope, because it's a laser. If it wants to sit there for 3-6 months and then you fire it back up, that's it, buddy. So no, you do not have to print every day on it. See any damn next to your computer while you're learning? Absolutely. And that's the cool thing is, it's not a huge tablet. It fits right in the palm of your hand. If you got hands like me, if you got little hands, maybe not, but it fits here. And so I can sit here and go through it. And this is going to be specifically for that. Nothing else is going on. So if I want to learn, I'm learning different things, how to print on this, how to do that. And then the other thing that, when looking at it for me, when one of the other things is, I like to learn how to do things. I like to show people how to do things. So I get on the tube of you and I type in white toner transfers. Almost everything is a shirt. There's not a whole lot that shows you how to do the hard substrates. There's some here and there, but there's not a whole lot. So that's where I saw, well, here's another way for us to create content too. So I can show how to put it on a tumbler, how to put it on a mug, how to make the tattoos, how to apply that, how to do this, how to do that, how to that. There's maybe a bunch of little videos, like 1 minute ones, your shorts and things, but to actually go through the process, there isn't. So if we can add that to it, one, it's more content, but two, it adds value to our customers. We can send them. We can send them. We can send them a link. Say, hey, when we did this, and hey, like here, I can, I'll show again. Hey, test stuff out so you make sure you have your pressure time right. Otherwise, the coating can get soft, and you can do this. If we show them the mistakes, show them what to avoid. Then they're like, okay, I can check this. When they say, hey, grab one and test it. Test. Put stuff all over. Don't keep ruining stuff. Test until you find out here's the right pressure, here's the right temp, here's where I need to be at with it. I'm going to go ahead and write this down on my log. So when I'm doing these tumblers, I know to set it up this time, this temp, this pressure, because it just makes it easier for you. When we can do those repeatable results, it's going to make things way, way, way easier. To get the 8432, yes. Which one did I get? 8432. 14K is a lot for that big boy, and we don't know if the demand is there to call for it. Start with this one. If it does, then yes, we can go to that one. But from now, let's go that, because hey, there's still other stuff I want to buy this year, folks. I still want to get in the roll printer. I think is going to be the next one. It's a toss up. The roll printer is going to take up a lot less room than going to a 44-inch sublimation printer. Plus, if I go 44-inch sublimation printer, you know what I'm going to want next, right? I'm going to want the wide format press, so that way I can do that. Well, if I'm going to go with that, now I'm going to get a roll to roll, so 64 inches, which means I might as well get a 64-inch sublimation printer. So that can go really fast. Smart thing is just, hey, I should just get the F570, be happy with it, do that. But at $2,500 for a new F570, when I'm looking at the 44-inch ones, and I can get a used one, and you know me, I love my used equipment. When I get one of those new heads, everything in it for $1,000, maybe $1,500 more, there's kind of a toss up right there. It's hard to decide, but the roll printer, I believe, is the next thing on our list. Just because, and we've had people ask us for roll labels, and I have a contact that we work with that does all of our roll labeling. They just have a minimum, 1,000 labels, and we can, no problem. But I mean, they're running millions of labels, and so they don't want to mess with anything small, and I don't blame them. So that's where we'd be able to fill in for that small niche. Hey, if we're able to offer somebody less than 1,000, then it works out for us. So there's always things to look at and do, and how can we make our business better. You're late. Which printer did you get? The Creo 84. In fact, it's right here. Creo 8432 WDT white toner printer. That's what we got. It's been. We've tested out some stuff over the weekend, and today was the Mondays of Tuesdays, so we haven't got in. The next up is Tumblr temporary tattoos for Tumblr. Corey said, "Hey, I want to try this on this one," so we'll go ahead and get right into it, and that's on the docket for this week. We got another heat press coming. I think that's Thursday is when that's going to be here, so I can get a better grip on some mugs and tumblers and things like that. And I'm going to totally pull the Walmart Dollar Tree binge. We're going to go and we're going to see, hey, what's on the shelf there? What is the price on this? How can we do it? And show that, and then go from there. It's going to be a great thing. Okay, speaking of garments, I went to a tourist town recently. Those shirts were the same as mine. Full color prints on color shirts. I even talked to a couple sharp owners, and they're print and press and store. White toner printing, full color pressing, absolutely. So when we go to Wisconsin, why did I just Minocqua? I'm like, I totally when we go up to Minocqua, Wisconsin Dells. It's a t-shirt shop. I go into it, and shirts everywhere. Designs. You pick the shirt, you pick the design, you put them together. That's why we set up our business in the store, in the mall that way. Pick the design, pick the shirt there. What do they have back there? They just have envelopes full of transfers. A4, go A4, pull transfer press. That's the thing. Transfers can make your business phenomenal, especially with the storefront, because it allows you to have a black shirt with 30 designs instead of 30 black shirts that in 5 different sizes for each one of those. Nope, I just need this, and you can put it on there. So transfers are definitely the way to go. I love that part of it. Mine is CMYK, and yeah, you get the big boy. I can print 10 by 16. I thought you could do 13 by 19. I thought that one could do 13 by 19. Can it not, Michelle? I do have A&B paper that has to be married. Yep. And I agree that it's for 1 or less than 5, it's okay. But anything larger, I've switched to DTF. And see, that's the perfect niche for it. Okay, I can get to here and it's fine. But anything more than this, I'm going to order. If you're doing those 1s and 2s, it's perfect for it. And then like the paper, the A&B, because that's the forever laser paper, on darks. But the T1 paper, you can use that on a lot of darks too and still get great results, and that's a single step paper. There's no marrying process to it. So look at some of that other paper. When you go through when we go through, I'm gonna put up the Magic Touches website, and let's see, we're gonna drop that in the comments here, and we'll go ahead and post that in here so that way people can go there. But I'm going to bring them up. We're gonna go to them because they offer all kinds of stuff over there. But we're gonna go see. Let's see if I can share the screen. If I can share the screen, this will always work well when the screen share works like it should. But right now, it's deciding that it's trying to think way too hard for that. All right, Magic Touch. We're gonna share that. All right. So now I should be able to pop right in here, and then I should be able to take Michelle's comment down. Not trying to take you down, add the stream, and then we're gonna make this full screen layout. But Magic Touch, right? Magic Touch here. So what do we have here? They've got a bunch of stuff. Their accessories, they've got vinyl, they've got direct to film, they've got faux leather, they've got heat transfer vinyl, they've got paper, they've got foil, they've got presses, they've got printers. And see, when you go into your printer category here, I said they've got three of them: the Creo 9541, 14, the 71 WT 5, and the 8432 is at 8, and then the Space Control RIP software is 7. Now, when you get the Creo, it does come with the factory. What did we decide that was called? The CAD Link Digital. I want to make sure I get it right. Digital Factory V10 is the software that comes with that. So you'll get a RIP software with that. Now, when we get back here in papers, there's a bunch of different paper for a bunch of different applications on it. You've got sticker and media or sticker and label stock, so you can be able to print labels. The no weed hard surface, so there's that. Yeah, you're going to be a little costly. Water slide decal paper, the patch style, which this is to me more of like an inkjet printer paper. The opaque reverse direction, so that's going to be applied to the back of things like glass. The water slide for wood transfer, so this is the raw wood. That one is pretty cool. I can't wait to try that one. And then the T1 weedless light garment, that's the single stage one. And then the temporary tattoo paper, we're getting that. Light garment transfer paper, and then the weedless dark, the WOW 7.8. So there's a bunch of different stuff, and yeah, prices can be up there. But when you know how much something costs you, then you're able to see, hey, what does this cost me to do? How can I do it? So make sure, do your research on it. Go from there. I've made stickers from my heat pressing transfer to Oracle 651. Awesome. See, another thing to do, right? Hey, Don, how are you? George, my man, how's it going? Yeah, my waste is about 45%. Hey, you'll get that down. You'll get it down to 5% or less. I guarantee you'll get it down there. Looked at Magic Touch because I was wanting a way to print and press designs on wood for signs, but not sure about the outdoor durability. You'll have to seal it if I remember correct. If I remember right. If I don't, if I remember correctly. I don't mind ordering RTS. What's RTS? Is that the paper, or am I ready to ship? See, I think ready to ship. Don, fill me in. Will you be having wholesale prices? Absolutely. Yes, we will be having wholesale prices because that's the thing. If I expect you guys to make money to it, I can't sell you guys stuff at retail pricing. I just can't, right? So there's going to be wholesale pricing on it. We'll go through where their numbers are with it and get, here. So that way we can do it. So that way you guys can still make money. So absolutely. If you upgrade, I want in line to buy the old one. Here's the problem is when I upgrade, yeah, most likely I would still keep it because then you can double up the work, right? Yeah. A rabbit hole, absolutely. Rabbit hole. That's what I'm saying. A warehouse. Yeah, rabbit hole for sure. I have two LX900s for labels and LX400 used them for 10 years now, and they're way out. Not sure what I'm going to replace them. See, I'm the Affinias. I've been looking at those. There's a couple Epsons that I've been looking at. The one Epson that can cut and print. It's a slower one, but I think on that small run label stuff, I would be fine with it because anything large label, I got a label guy for it where, he has his prices. I can still, make, I think about 20% on it and still be good with stuff and then still be in the ballpark of other people. But, we've got to be there for 1,000. So, yeah, we can look at all kinds of stuff, Don, when it comes to label. One of my first jobs was a clothing T-shirt I pressed when I was 16. And that was when we were at the mall. That's what we remember growing up with the T-shirt shop. We went in there, picked it up, and and so when we had the opportunity to be in the mall, we wanted that again. And I still want to be able to do that. There's still a part of me that misses that. Not a big part of me, but there is still a part of me that misses it. To Lake Geneva, that's not too far from me. Lake Geneva. I've been ordering paper from Coleman and Company, and it's 11 by 17. You can't print that large. I'm going to have to try some of the Magic Touch paper. Yeah, give them a try. I've had great experience with them so far. And like I said, I've been going back and forth, for a couple of years now. And I mean, we really took it serious when we were in DAX this year. Said, hey, we're looking at this. What can we do? And so finally, yeah, it's here now. So Coleman and Company out of Florida. So that's the other thing too. Like to you, Michelle, what's shipping on that? That's got to be a couple days, right, to get to you on that. You've had your printer 5 years. See, you love it, right? I'm trying to decide on replacing my Cricut mug press with a Swing Design 7-in-1 Template press. Since so far I've sold more mugs than anything. So the Cricut only allows you to do one size mugs, right? Going to another one will allow you to have a greater range of things that you're able to do. So I don't know. Ready to sell. See, ready to sell. Ready to ship, ready to sell, whatever. We'll get it all figured out. Double up or back up for emergencies. Well, that's the thing, is that even with a lot of stuff, before we sell stuff, I want to make sure that I have people in place. So if something happens, we're able to do it. That's the other thing is with the Creo, there's 2-year on-site warranty, right? So on site. So we'll try and work stuff through here, through the phone, through everything. If not, then you got the 2-year warranty on site. So that's a pretty cool thing to look at too. Yeah, the Affinia. Yeah, I've been eyeballing it really, really, and then it was like, oh, I started with this one, and I was like, oh, what about this one? And oh, what about this one? Because what is it? The one of the iColor 500, I think that JP Plus has. I've really looked at that one, and I'm kind of on the fence about it. I do like the idea of it being able to cut, in different size shapes, as opposed to having, where you have to have a finisher. Because you can get a printer, that just prints labels for a couple thousand, but to get one of those finishers that has the 15-inch graph tech and all that, I mean, you're spending 15,000 on that, and I don't know if I'm that down in the label game for stuff like that. See, Lake Zurich. So you're not too far from me either, Don. You're just up the road on the other side. Well, I love you too, Don. It must be an Illinois thing. Yeah, I need labels from other businesses, waterproof. Those LXs are so great. Yeah, and that's even on the Epsons and that there is what the pigment and the dye, depending on which one. So there's different heads that could go into it. I go down that rabbit hole in there. I totally go down that rabbit hole and it drives me crazy. I'm in Vegas now. We were going to go to Vegas next month for Printing United, but we've decided not to just because they are not having education. So now it becomes a $3,000 trip to just go hang out with my friends. And I love you guys and all, but if I'm spending $3,000 for me and Corey to go on a trip to hang out with my friends, we're going to Mexico, folks. We're going to the Bahamas. We're going somewhere all inclusive for a week with food and drink for $3,000. I'm not going to Vegas for $3,000 because I think by the time we factored in planes, by the time we factored in hotels for the night, for the week, and then food and entertainment, yeah, it was like a $3,000 week. We're going to Mexico. You can go to Mexico. Like last time when I sent Corey to Mexico earlier this year, I think all in it was like $800 to send her. So that's what I equate everything to. How many Mexico trips is this? Is it worth going there? I've been here 30 years and you love it. Oh, hopefully we're not talking Illinois. I've got Iowa right across the way. And I sometimes think it's easier just to go around there. Yeah, dude, you can go to Mexico cheap. For you, especially if you fly out of Chicago, dude, you can get out of really cheap. You're talking. We saw trips. We just looked because we're a couple different things to do. It was 3 nights, so 3-day weekend. You take that all inclusive, and it was like $375 Apple Vacation. So yeah, that's 1 night in Vegas versus 3 nights in Mexico with food and drink. Come on now, it's a poker player. I used to be when I was in my early 20s, and then I realized I'm not a good gambler because I learned that I like to keep my money, and so it was hard. When you can keep an extra white cartridge in the spare fuse or white toner, the white toner causes you to lose a lot fuse because you can easily damage it. I know the white ink side just from on the DTF side, and that's why I assumed the white toner was going to be the same way, because we go through about, depending on the print coverage, 6-7 liters of white to our colored, because of white goes on everything. So that is a great tip, Ramona, to know, hey, I should get those things here. The other thing is that with ordering from the Magic Touch, they're 1-day ship. So it's why having those production schedules and things out there really make it easy to go down that hole. Where I don't need to keep it a lot in stock because I can get it next day. Yep. No education. Yeah, they're going to be on 2 regular guys this week, so you can ask them why they decided not to do education and left education up to the floor. So if you want education, that means you're going to happen in the booth. And we all know what happens with education in the booth. They're there to sell you something, folks. That's what their job is. So they're going to educate you on how their product works and that. And I can give you education on sales, marketing, things like that. It's just not what they do. They're going to show you the next greatest thing with their equipment and how to do it, and they want you to do it well with that. So it's really it was kind of a bummer, that, because that's what I love going to shows for. It goes education and then networking. So if there's no education, it's just networking. Love you guys, but maybe I could fly in for a day and hang out with people and fly back out. But for a week, we're going to Mexico, folks. That's what we can do. Yeah, because Vegas is expensive. It used not to be. I used to be able to go to Vegas and I could be in and out for a week for under $1,000, and that's entertainment. That was everything. You could get show cheap. Everything was cheap. Not anymore. Not anymore. It was ridiculous, and I'm just like, no. It's just not. It's just it's tough to do when I can go there for it. Deal a shift boss 25 years. Don, you're not even, what would you start when you were like 4? You're not even old enough. Yeah, you can pay to educate from a stage on the floor. Yeah, why don't I pay to educate, right? Why don't I pay? Or shouldn't I get paid for it? Brian, you should do it too, right? We can do it. Yeah, just order wholesale for me. I'm down with that. I say we just order that. Just order for me. I can do that. Yeah, I was sad too. And it was actually Brian. It was Brian's fault because I'm like, no, it's not. And he goes, yeah, man, take a look. And I looked, I'm like, holy S, you're right. It is not anywhere on here. So we need to look more in it. And no, there wasn't. So that's the thing. It's because even, for 3K for the week, shortly after that is Print Hustlers. And that's down in Dallas, Fort Worth. And I can fly in and out of there for those 3 days, come in on the day before, they fly out the next day. Hotel flights, everything. I can be in and out there for like $650. I would feel I would get a lot more out of it doing that. So is anybody else going? Is there anybody else going to Print Hustlers? Because that might be something that we could meet up and do and go from there. 60, Dawn, no way you're not 60. I'm close to 60, I guess 40 something. So I'm getting there. I heard all about it from the guy that'll be on Two Regular Guys. Yeah. So hopefully they can explain why, education should be a key thing. And now it doesn't seem like it. I'm gonna open a live boutique coming soon. I cannot wait. All right. So here's the thing. We've actually got training starting in 45 minutes. I need to get over there to tie up some loose ends because, like I said, I did not get to hold up to do a lot of stuff that I needed. If you have White 200 questions, ask me. I'll do my best to answer them. Why we brought it in to be able to bring in the products that we were already outsourcing. We're to a point where we could, bringing a house made sense to us. Also, we can add it to our already lineup of wholesale products that we can offer. So we can, like I said, we're not going to offer shirt transfers. It's just not something that I want to do because we have the DTF side of it. But your hard transfers, your temporary tattoos, your things, your education to go with it, we're going to do our best to show all those. I'm really looking forward to Mylar balloons because I know people that could just do a business in that. And as soon as I saw that we have a friend of ours that has a balloon company where she makes, the custom balloon animals and things like that, I have a feeling I can sell her in a heartbeat on this stuff, and doing stuff wholesale and be able to get it from there. It's going to be rock solid. I can't do it. I need to bring a group to Illinois. Fat Dad on-site training. Brought 30 people to St. Louis. When I had the storefront in the mall, we did do that. We would bring people in, 5-10 people at a time, and we had a great time for the weekend going through each process and that. And it was something that I wouldn't mind doing again. But we're looking at OSG training in Texas next fall. Just throwing that out there for it. Key West. That's where you come on. What is Print Hustler? Print Hustler is. I'll get the information for it because it's on the screen printing side of things, but it's not because it can be applied to all businesses, and so it's education, and it's from everything that I've seen, it was pretty legit. Do I use Printavo? I do not. I don't feel that my business was made the best for it, being on the transfer side of things, being on the B2B side of it. I think it could be beneficial to a lot of people, especially if we're doing a lot of teams, having the stores that way. When you compare that to some of the other products that are out there, the Chipleys, the Inksoft, even though notice Printsoft or whatever the hell it's going to be now. When you're spending $350 a month, it's really not that much when you divide it up amongst all your stores. So if I went really hard on that, I think it's a great investment. But for what we're using, I don't know if it is. It's definitely something I would look into, and I'm not going to say it's a horrible thing or an amazing thing. I'm going to say I'm neither here nor there. I've heard great things, I've heard bad things, and I think that just goes for everything with it. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. We should just go to Mexico, right? Mexico trip. Who's down with that? Like January. No, I think Corey's already going to the Bahamas. I'm trying to get down to Florida in full one more time before the end of the year. I'm trying to get Mr. Vassallo there to do an open house, preferably in November around my birthday. So that way I have a reason to go to Florida for my birthday and I can go attend an open house and have fun for it. Education on Mylar ASAP. I'm ordering. I meant to order today, but it's on my list. It's on my list to get done now tomorrow. I will order it up, which means I should have it by Friday. We'll test it this weekend and play because between icing them, printing directly on Mylar bags, which in the cannabis industry is huge, confectionery industry huge. Being able to have those low run things, they look pretty legit. So there's so many opportunities with white toner that I think people just don't realize because they don't know. Everybody shirts, and they've got it and it turned out, and then they don't realize, oh, I could use it to temporary tattoos. I can use it for water slides. I can do it for this. I can do it for that. I can, do it for stuff like this. That's where, I think it can really be done at. I will get information and I'll post it on there. Yeah. So Brian should just do it in St. Louis. He's got screen printing, embroidery, small laser, HTV, dye sub, trophies, plaques, laser toner. Yeah. So Brian, you should just put on a workshop. Next time I go down to St. Louis, because you're not too far from St. Louis, and it's a little bit warmer there, and they do have brisket ravioli. I just might have to make a long weekend out of this, Brian. I just might have to do. Yeah, everybody do that. Everybody call Matt and tell him we want an open house there. Because I said I'll come down and I'll teach a class. We'll work out something. I'll come down there. I'll teach something. We'll have a good old time. But the problem is their education center is no longer the education center because they expanded the storefront. So Shirts and Stones expanded. So now, between Shirts and Stones, that stuff, they don't have the education room that they had before. So that means now it's running a hotel and a conference room and doing all this and that. So there's some more logistics to it, and I get that. But I said let's just make it done. So I think we do that. Yeah, St. Louis only 6 hours by car. It's only 5 hours, a little 4.5 for me because I got to go 74 to 55 and then down. There's no real quick way for me to get to St. Louis. It's down and over, but we could totally do that. We can make something happen 45 minutes west of Aaron. So see, yeah, we can do that. All right, I got to get over to the training. Like I say, if you guys haven't got into that, you can go over to our successgroup.com/5keys. Our 5 keys marketing. We are back at it tonight. Tonight it's define part. Excuse me. Night 2, define your brand. We defined your customer last night. Tonight's define your brand. So, if you don't know who you are, what are you going to do when people ask who you are? The better you can define yourself, the better that it's going to make, finding your people easier. So that we got that tonight. Tomorrow we have Morning Mindset, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be back for that. Thursday, we have DTF Bundle Drop, which is going to be by request of volleyball. And with this one, it's going to be released as, as its own thing. But the artwork that I got for this one can be color changed too. Almost positive. I'm going to double check, but I do believe I can change all the colors and everything there. So it'll be released as one thing, but if you need color swap, we're able to do that for you. So I'm excited about that. And then Friday back here for this, or for Morning Mindset. So yeah, we've got a busy week ahead of us, and we've still got a crap ton of stuff that's closing as far as stores to get out. So it's going to be a rock solid. And we've got training every night this week. So we're getting after it. I'm going to go do a little potty break and then get into the training. So hopefully see you guys all over there. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. You guys have an amazing, incredible, all that fun night. What more do we have other than, peace, love, press on. We'll see you guys next time. That didn't work how it was supposed to. It didn't. We're going to do that because it should go like this. It should go peace, love, press on. We'll see you guys next time.